Good evening and welcome to Shining Waters Yoga. Thanks for bearing with me. It's some technical difficulties here this evening. But I'm really glad that you're here. And of course, this practice will stay up on my YouTube channel, so you can always watch it at another time as well. As I was preparing this class today, I wanted to put it in context, first of all, because we're recording live, and as I said, it will live on the YouTube channel, so you can watch it anytime. But at this moment, our nation is experiencing incredible division. We've had a presidential election. We have no clear winner yet. And even there's a lot of fear and anxiety around that. And even when there is a winner declared, I'm sure there's still going to be a lot of anxiety and fear and division. And yoga, of course, is about coming together and uniting. And as I did my personal practice this morning, I always end in seated meditation. And I was thinking about how important it is to create that space, to have that space that is truly your own. To claim your space. And when you're sitting in meditation, there's so little that we can control in life and in the world. But those moments you spend in meditation and really being present are so sacred. They are the only real moments of freedom that we have. They're freedom that no one can take from you. No one can take that from you. And so for me, that's where I find my safe space. I create that space where I'm able to sit, I'm able to meditate, and that's my refuge. That's my safe space, my sacred space. And if you make the time for yourself to meditate in whatever fashion works for you, you take this time to be present. We're going to be doing this sort of in our movement, because yoga is a meditative movement, a mindful movement. The more you do this for yourself, you are then able to help to make space for others. And I think that's the greatest thing we can do. The highest calling in our journey on this earth is to be able to make space for others. I feel that's what we're called to do. But we can't make space for others if we don't take the time to make space for ourselves. To sit with our thoughts and our fears and our limiting beliefs, and to examine and understand how those beliefs might be getting in the way of us making space for others. They get in the way of us knowing and understanding that we are indeed connected to the divine, all of us. And so my hope is that this practice helps you to create your own space for this evening, for this moment, to let everything else go. You can come back to it in an hour. And just be present. So we're going to start briefly finding a comfortable seat. And you don't have to sit how I am. You can sit in whatever way feels right for you. And in fact, if you really are exhausted and you want to lie down, you can do this lying down, this beginning part. I'm going to invite you to take a mudra to help ground and be present. And I'm going to give you an option. So Adi Mudra is just folding the thumbs in and wrapping the fingers around like a loose fist. And you might feel like you want to make a fist right now, but hold the hands loosely. So not like a tight fisted, just really loose. And then placing the hands palms face down. You could keep this mudra, or you can let go of the index finger and the thumb and touch the index finger to the thumb, the tips of the index finger to the thumb, and then place them down. So all I did here was release the thumb and the index finger and let them touch. And it creates a little space, a little circle, and reminding us that we are indeed connected to all of life. So this is one of my favorite ways to start meditation. Just helping me to ground and be present and set the foundation before I can allow my awareness to start to lift upward towards the heart and the third eye. We have to first start with that nice sense of calm and groundedness. So taking either of those mudras, and if neither one of those calls to you, you could also just place a hand on your belly and a hand on your heart. And notice all the parts of you that are touching the floor, that are touching the earth. Feel that connection to the earth. And then notice your breath. Notice if you are breathing, or are you just holding the breath out? Take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale and sigh it out through your mouth. And notice if that was difficult. Is it hard to take a deep breath right now? And if so, we're going to start to take little sips of breath in through the nose. We're going to do 3 little sniffs, breathing in a little bit, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. And then we're going to exhale through pursed lips. Nice and slow, naturally lengthening our exhale. So let's try that again, taking 3 little sips of air in through the nose. Breathe in a little bit more, a little bit more. Pause, and then exhale through pursed lips. Inhale through your nose a little bit more, a little bit more. Pause, and exhale. Do that again, inhaling through your nose a little bit more, a little bit more. Hold the breath in and exhale it out. Notice how you feel. You can continue to breathe, smoothing out that inhale so it becomes more 1 in breath and 1 out breath. And continue to make the exhale longer than the inhale. And then when you feel ready, if the eyes are closed, you can open the eyes. We're going to transition to lie on our backs. You won't need your blanket for the time being, unless you want it under your head. So come to lie on your back, on your mat. Just going to adjust the camera a little bit more here so you can see better. And allow your arms to come out to the sides and straighten the legs. And you can allow the feet to also open, spread open. And just take up as much space as you can. You can even spread the fingers wide. Start to feel all the points of contact between your body and the floor. Take a deep breath in and imagine the body spreading and taking up more space. And exhale and allow the body to soften and relax on the floor. Feeling that connection with the earth and feeling held by the earth, supported by the earth. Take another deep breath in, reach the fingers out. And as you exhale, start to cross your arms in front of you. We'll do right over left. And take the hands behind you so you're giving yourself a hug, wrapping the arms around your upper body. And take another breath here. Sigh it out. And just notice what it feels like to be held. So we're also living in this time of social distancing. We can't really touch each other the way we might like to. So maybe you haven't been hugged or held in some time. Let's give yourself a hug here. And gently holding onto your shoulder blades, or however, depending how tight you are, how far your arms are going to reach. Go ahead and sort of lift up one shoulder blade and then the other if you can with your hands. Just gently lifting one side and then the other. And see if you can cross your elbows or stack the elbows. We'll take a little breath in and lift the elbows up as far as you can. It's going to be a small movement. And exhale them down. And inhale up. And exhale down. And then start to draw a little circle with the elbows. It's not going to be very big. Just gently loosening the upper body. Come back to center. And inhale and open the arms wide again. Palms up, reach the fingers. Spread the legs open. Inhale, big breath. And exhale, cross the left arm over the right as you sigh out the breath. And again, pause here. Just give yourself a hug. Might sound silly, but just feel what that feels like. Take another deep breath in and exhale and sigh it out. And it's okay to be emotional. It's okay to not feel anything. On your next in-breath, start to lift the shoulders up a little and exhale down. Inhale, lift them up and exhale down. And you really squeeze, 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 squeeze as you do this. Gently start to circle the elbows. They're not going to go very far. Just feel that movement in your torso. And then go the other way, other direction. Just being really gentle with yourself. And then inhale and bring the arms over your head, holding onto your elbows. Take a big breath. You could even bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees come out to the side like Baddha Konasana. And pause here, take another deep breath. And exhale it out. Deep breath in. And exhale and release the arms out to the side. And go ahead and bend the knees again. The soles of the feet are on the floor. We'll extend the left leg. Just gonna check my notes because I want to forget anything. I have a specific way I want to do things this evening. So left leg straight, right knee bent, left arm out to the side. We're going to do this little somatic twist. Some of you might be familiar with it. So right hand is going to be placed on your left shoulder. And you're just going to sort of slide that hand along your arm until the palms meet. And as you do that, you're going to slide back. As you slide that hand, you're going to press your right foot down into the floor. It's okay if your hip lifts up, but try not to let your knee cross over the body. So really plant that foot, press down, and start to slide one hand over the other. And then slide back and maintain that contact between your hand and your arm. Slide. Maybe your fingertips meet. Maybe you can even slide past that hand and come back. Slide. Feel a twist in the upper back from the hip to the shoulder. Let's do it one more time. You can breathe and exhale as you slide and inhale as you come back. And then let that right arm come out to the side. We'll switch sides, bend your left knee, bring the sole of the foot to the floor, straighten your right leg. Bring the left hand to the left shoulder. And again, you're going to press down with the left foot. Try to keep the knee pointing upward. And slide your left hand over your right. Back. And the head just follows. Sliding that arm, or sliding that hand rather down the arm until it meets the fingertips of the other hand. Or as far as yours goes. It may not go as far as mine. You might be able to slide the left hand past the fingertips. You're just sliding and noticing. Noticing what you feel in your body. Does it feel good? Are you noticing stiffness or tightness? We'll come back to center and then allow the left arm to come out to the side. We'll bend both knees, hug the knees in. Rock a little bit side to side. And then start to circle the knees, just giving yourself a little massage for the lower back. You could circle the knees together, or you could also circle them in opposite directions. Different sensation. It's a little deeper into the lower back. And then reverse your circles, go the other way. Squeeze the knees in, maybe wrap your arms around the knees. Just be mindful of the lower back, so keeping the tailbone down, not lifting the hips up off your mat. And take another deep breath. As you exhale, just slowly roll to your side. You can lift yourself up a little bit. We're going to transition to belly down. So lying on your belly, you can take a minute in Sphinx pose, just getting settled, wiggling the hips side to side, palms face down, elbows under the shoulders. And then imagining drawing the mat towards you, the front of the mat towards you. Just look forward and lengthen your spine and breathe. And then as you exhale, we're going to come all the way down, forehead to the backs of the hands. Let the feet come out wide here, and just allow your belly to rest on the floor. So you can have your forehead on your stacked hands, or you can turn your head to the side, whatever feels better for your neck. I'm going to turn to face the computer so you can hear me since I don't have my microphone tonight. And just wiggle the hips side to side. And breathe. And then as you feel ready, we'll go ahead and release the hands underneath the shoulders, bringing the forehead to the mat. Let's walk the feet in so that the legs are close together now. The toes are untucked. Roll the shoulders away from your ears. Start to lift your head and your chest. Just a little teeny baby cobra looking forward. And then from that position, breathe in a little bit more. See if you can lift a little higher. And exhale and come back down. Just a little baby gentle cobra. On your next inhale, press down with your hands, roll the shoulders away from the ears, lift up a little bit more. And exhale, come back down. Pressing down with the hands, inhale again, lift up a little bit. Maybe a little bit higher, maybe a little bit higher. And exhale to come back down. Pause and rest. You can stack your hands. Just notice how that feels. As we start to open the chest a little bit. Does it feel ready, or do you feel like you just want to rest with the face down? A sort of comforting pose where the belly rests on the earth. When you're ready, we're going to take a little bit more, slightly more demanding posture. Taking the arms out now to the sides, in front, lifting up a little bit higher into more of a seal pose. You can come up onto the fingertips, tenting the hands, and look forward. Breathe. Notice how that feels. Exhale and stay if you can. If you need to come down, you can come down. Take another breath. And when you're ready, release back down. Maybe turn the head to the side this time if you're okay with it. We're going to start to lift out of that. So bring the hands back under your shoulders. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Lift up one more time. Start to bend the knees. Draw the belly in. Come on up to a table position. And if you need a blanket under your knees, you can go ahead and put the blanket there, the folded blanket there. So once you come into your table pose, we'll start to inhale and arch the spine and look forward into a cow pose. And then as you exhale, draw your belly toward your spine and sink your hips back toward your heels, coming into almost into child, just pausing, maybe not a full child's pose. Inhale and come back up into cow pose. And exhale and draw the belly in and start to sink your hips back toward your heels. And just moving back and forth with your breath a couple of times. Inhale, lifting up, arching, and exhaling and drawing back towards child's. One more time, inhaling forward. And exhaling back. Inhaling back up. We're going to start to walk the hands forward. Exhale. And come all the way down. So keeping the hips in line with the knees, coming into a puppy pose. Go ahead and rest your forehead on the floor. And take a deep breath into that space between your shoulder blades, back of the heart. And exhale it out. And rest here for a couple of breaths. If you can. If you need to come out, you can come back to child's pose. One more breath here. And then as you inhale, press down with your hands, start to walk the hands back, wrists under the shoulders. We're going to come into a little thread the needle. So starting with the left arm, inhaling up to the sky. And exhale and thread it underneath the other arm. Inhale to lift back up. Exhale to thread it underneath and reach. Inhale back up to the sky and exhale underneath. Inhale up to the sky and exhale underneath. And pause. Leave the arm there this time, palm face up, back of the hand to the floor. You can take your right hand, a couple of options, over the head. Keeping the right hand on the floor, you could tent the fingers, reaching the right arm up, and the left arm stays where it is. Be mindful that you're not pressing your head into the floor. You're just allowing the head to rest. And then from here, if you wanted to go deeper, you could step your right foot out to the side, sealing the sole of the foot down. You could wrap the right arm around your body, perhaps finding your left thigh with your hands, and breathe. Just resting here, in whichever form you chose, whichever option. Take one more deep breath. And as you exhale, release the arm if it's wrapped around you in a bind. Place that right hand down to the floor. Slowly start to lift up. And keeping your left hand now, wrist under the shoulder, inhale the right arm up to the sky. So those of you that didn't have your leg stepped out, go ahead and step it out now and reach that right arm up to the sky. Be mindful that you're not pressing down into this hand or in any way making your shoulder uncomfortable. And then bring that hand down. So you could use blocks here to help you lift up. Mine are so far away, I'm not going to use them. So coming to stand on your left knee, knee in line with the hip. I'll show you this way. Right foot sealed down. I'm going to slide the right arm down and just reach that left arm over your ear. Take another big breath. Parvasana, gate pose. Exhale, reach a little longer. And try to not to let yourself collapse forward, but open the side body. And exhale, come all the way back up. You're going to come back into your table, step that foot in, and we'll do the other side. So I'm going to show you this way. Knees, make sure knees are hip width apart. Inhale the right arm up to the sky and exhale and thread it underneath the left. Really come into that twist. And then inhale back up, reach. Exhale, thread it into the twist. Inhale and reach it back up. Exhale and thread it through. Last one, inhale up to the sky and exhale underneath. Let that arm rest, palm face up. Again, you could walk the left hand on the floor to position over your head, feeling that stretch here. You can totally stay right here. You might even tent the fingers, or you could try and take that step out with the left foot and wrap the left arm around you, coming into a deeper stretch, deeper version. Just listen to what your body needs. Pausing here to feel. You can keep that khaki breath going, breathing out through the pursed lips, or sigh it out if that feels better. Just a nice deep letting go. And then bring that arm back down, palm of the hand to the floor. Press down with that hand to lift you up out of the pose. If you didn't step that leg out, if you were at table, go ahead and step it out now. We're going to keep the right hand down, wrist in line with the shoulder, and reach the left arm up to the sky first. Breathe in. And exhale it down. Now go ahead and walk yourself up so you're standing on the right knee, left leg out to the side. You don't have to crawl around like I just did. Just want to be clear in my demoing. So slide the left arm down and reach that right arm over your ear and breathe. As you exhale, reach a little bit longer. Take another breath and exhale. Inhale to come all the way up Bring the hands back down and step that foot in. We're going to come to kneel for a moment. So if this isn't comfortable on your knees for any reason, you can always sit up on a block or cushion for a moment. Come into a little bit more shoulder work. And if this still isn't comfortable, you could also sit cross-legged. For me, this is a little more comfortable sitting up on the block. So let's just take a deep breath in, pressing down with the palms of your hands and shrug your shoulders up to your ears and exhale it out. And then take the arms out to the side and inhale up. Exhale, bring the right hand down to pat yourself on the back and take the left hand and gently nudge that right elbow in towards the center, towards the midline. And then notice if you're jutting the chest way out and draw the lower ribs in and breathe. So you can stay here or you can release the top arm and take that palm back towards the back of the room. Take that hand behind you and maybe see if you can grab the hands, clasp the hands behind you into Gomukhasana and breathe. So you can be here or you can be here. And then gently release the arms back up to the sky. Maybe look up, stretch the neck a little bit. As you exhale, bring the left hand down to pat yourself on the back and gently encourage the left elbow towards the midline with your right hand. Coming to that half Gomukhasana, and you can stay here. Or take the right arm out to the side, thumb down, turn the palm towards the back of the room. Start to walk it up your back and see if you can clasp the hands together. So a lot of people can't. So if you can't, no worries. You could also just simply grab a hold of your shirt. You could use a strap here, but I didn't mention that in the beginning. So, because you can always just take the half bind and encourage the elbow towards the midline. Just a gentle little stretch for the tricep. Opening up upper body. And then inhale and reach the arms back up, looking up to the sky. Exhale the arms down. Roll the shoulders forward, up, back and down a couple of times while I just check my notes. Okay. So I'm going to veer away from my notes for a moment. Let's go ahead and take the arms behind you now and clasp the hands. And squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the shoulders towards each other, the elbows towards each other. And as you exhale, go ahead and come forward. Bring the forehead down to the mat. Maybe start to lift up towards the crown of the head. Take the arms behind you if that's appropriate for you and for your neck. If not, you can just stay here in more of a child's pose and start to bring the arms backwards and squeeze. Breathe. Exhale, releasing tension here. And draw the hips back towards the heels. Now let your arms rest at your sides, hands towards one of the feet, or just palms face up, whatever feels better for you. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, sigh it out. And then gently take the hands forward. We're going to come up into a downward facing dog. So from your table pose, walk your hands forward a little bit, spread the fingers wide, pressing down to the base of the index finger and the thumb, tuck your toes, start to lift those knees up. If you want to just stay in a bent knee downward facing dog and push the floor away, you can, or you can start to straighten one leg and then the other. Just walking through the feet. Working on any stiffness in the ankles and the heels. And stretching the backs of the legs. And then inhale, lift the hips up really nice and high, and exhale and sink those heels down. Push the floor away. Breathe. And inhale, look forward to your hands. Walk your feet to your hands or your hands to your feet. And inhale and lift up halfway, lengthen your spine. And exhale and fold. You can bend the knees deeply here if you need to. And then inhale and lift halfway again, lengthen your spine, tuck the chin slightly. Lengthen through the back of the neck and exhale and fold back inward. And then bending at the knees. Inhale, take the arms out to the side, reach all the way up to the sky, and I'm going to go ahead and adjust my camera. And then as you exhale, you're going to come back to mountain pose. Just a little bit more back. So coming to stand at the top of your mat, I'm going to face the camera, but you can come to the top of your mat. And allow the arms to come to the side and roll the shoulders back and down. Keep the belly engaged. Just take a moment to stand in mountain pose. Pressing the inner ankles to the outer ankles. And breathe. Inhale up to the sky, lift the arms overhead, maybe clasp the hands together, and exhale over to your right. Stretching the side body again. And inhale through the center. And exhale to the left. Inhale through center, and this time release the arms down. As you exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Come all the way to fold. Let the head hang. Pause here, dangle. Maybe shake the head, no. Maybe grab the elbows, whatever feels good, or just hang. Hang over the legs. Lift the hips a little higher. And exhale. Bend your knees, sink your hips out, or sink your hips back. Take the arms out and inhale to come all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take the heels of the hands to the top of the pelvis, to the bony back of the pelvis. Squeeze the elbows in, roll the shoulders back. Breathe in, start to lift your sternum up. Maybe lean back a little bit, coming into a little back bend. Squeeze those elbows, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And exhale, come back to stand. Roll the shoulders. Maybe take the fingertips to your shoulders and circle the elbows. Relax the arms down to your side. Clasp your hands. Squeeze the elbows together. Inhale, lift the sternum, and exhale and hinge forward again. Let the arms come back behind you. Some of you, they might rest closer to the body. Some of you might be able to bring the arms over the head. Squeeze the palms together. Inhale and exhale. And then squeezing those arms, inhale and come all the way back up. Release the arms. Shake it out. Come to your mountain pose. Hands to the heart, center, and breathe. As you feel ready, let's step the right foot back. And bring the right heel down. So back toes can point out a little bit. Encourage the hips forward. They might be sort of at this warrior 1.5 towards the corner or a little more forward, but encouraging the hips forward, encouraging the ribs forward. Inhale and reach through your fingertips up to the sky. Plant that back foot down. Charge for that back leg. Maybe bring the palms to touch and exhale, bend the elbows, bring the thumbs behind your skull. And inhale and lift the elbows up. Breathe. Keep pressing through that back foot. 2 more breaths. And then inhale and reach the arms up, and exhale the arms behind you. See if you can clasp your forearms or your elbows. If not, you can also just clasp the hands again. Straighten the front leg, step the back foot in a little bit. So both legs straight, hips are forward. Inhale and lift from your sternum. As you exhale, start to hinge forward. Now, some of you might be able to do reverse namaste hands. So bring the backs of the hands together and then turning them so the palms touch. And inhale and lift from your sternum. Exhale and hinge forward. So if you've never done reverse namaste hands, don't try to figure it out now. Just grab your forearms. But if you know it and it's part of your practice, go for it. Imagine squeezing a block between the inner thighs, drawing the left hip back and the right hip forward. And then inhale and come all the way back up. Release the arms down. Bending the right front knee, start to step your back foot in a little bit, about halfway again. And then standing with the feet apart, inhale, lift the arms overhead. As you exhale, see if you can take the right foot back behind you and start to tilt forward and come into warrior three. And if not, you can just step back and you can try it again. Now here's where if you have blocks and you want to use them, you certainly could take your blocks and with the hands in the blocks, wrists under your shoulders, start to lift the right leg back like a kickstand. So you're balancing on the left. But otherwise, don't worry about not having blocks. Just come back to rise. You're going to be nice and lifted here and just start to tilt forward and play with the balance. Maybe bring the hands to the heart. Keep the sternum lifted. It doesn't matter how far forward you go, but keep that back foot as if you were pressing it against the wall behind you. You take the arms back or forward. What calls to you? And then, of course, when you're ready, you can step the foot back down into warrior one. Lift your heart. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, step the back foot forward. And we'll come to the other side. So I'm going to turn around the other way. Beginning from mountain pose, hands to the heart. Let's step the left foot back. Bring the back heel down and turning that foot out slightly. You decide how much. But as you do that, you might want to take the right foot over to the right a little bit and position hips forward as much as you can. Should be no pain, no discomfort. If your hips are a little more open to the side, that's okay too. Try to bring the ribs forward. And inhale and reach through your fingers. Really reach up to the sky. Maybe you look up. And as you exhale, start to bring the hands together. Bending from the elbows. Bring the thumbs to the back of your skull. And inhale and reach to the elbows. Breathe. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. One more breath here. Maybe you bend that front knee a little deeper as you exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, straighten the front leg. Bring the arms behind you, clasping the forearms or the elbows. Step the back foot in a little bit. Front leg is straight. Inhale and lift from your sternum. As you exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Maybe you don't go all the way the first time. If you want to do the reverse namaste hands, bring the back of the hands together. So try to walk the hands up your back and then turn the palms to face each other, pinkies together. And inhale and lift from your sternum. Lift through the crown of your head, and as you exhale, hinge forward. Squeezing that imaginary block between your thighs, drawing the right hip back and the left hip forward. One more breath here.
Inhale to come all the way back up, and exhale and release the arms. And then the front knee. We'll step that back foot partway in. Give ourselves a chance to find our balance on the right foot. Inhale with the arms, and as you exhale, you're just going to hinge forward until that foot comes off the mat behind you. And imagine stepping it on a wall, an imaginary wall. If you feel wobbly, come back into it. You can always come out and try it again. You can always use the blocks and come in from the ground up. Maybe taking the hand to the heart. Arms behind you. Or arms ahead of you. Find that balance, that steadiness, that ease. Maybe it doesn't feel like ease. And when you're ready, bring both feet back to the ground and step it out. Find mountain pose and pause. Take a moment to experience whatever you feel. From here, from mountain pose, inhale, reach the arms overhead. And as you exhale, we'll hinge forward from the hips again. Inhale, lift halfway to fingertips or hands to the shins. And as you exhale, hands down, step your feet back to downward facing dog. So lift those hips up. Seal the heels down as much as you can. They may or may not touch, but imagine bringing them down. Imagine sealing them down. Push the floor away, lift the hips high, exhale. Inhale and exhale. If you need to come into child's pose, you can do that. From here, we're going to inhale and lift the right leg up and back. And as you exhale, bend the knee in towards your chest. Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. Bring it as close towards behind the right wrist as you can. You can step the left foot back. We're going to start to come into a pigeon pose. Now, if pigeon pose is not for you, feel free to take this on your back. Coming to your back, you're going to take the right heel right above the left knee and then start to draw the left thigh in towards you. So you can come into this version of pigeon on your back. Feel free to do that now. Otherwise, those of you that like pigeon are going to slide the right knee right behind the right wrist. Start to walk that foot over some, ideally having the heel towards the groin. And then, of course, some people, the calf is even parallel to the front of the mat. That will not happen for me. And in fact, this is my more restricted side. So you may notice one side different than the other. You can stay lifted in this pose, drawing, again, that imaginary block in as if you're squeezing the thighs together towards each other. Breathe in, lift the sternum. Maybe lift up a little bit more. Now, if you're falling to one side, you can also place a block under your hip. And then as you exhale, coming down to your forearms, you can stay here or come all the way down to stacked hands or to rest your forehead on the block. Keeping the right foot flexed. So whether you're on your back doing pigeon or you're in this version, keep the toes flexed. Drawing the pinky towards the knee. And then slowly start to walk yourself back up. Tuck your back toes under and step back. Downward facing dog. Walk the hands in, lift the hips, and breathe. Exhale it out. Lift the left leg up and back behind you. Inhale it up. And exhale and start to draw that knee in. You're going to bring the left knee towards the left wrist. Walk that foot over a little bit. And you can always lift up and And walk the right leg back a little bit more, making a little more space there. Heel towards the groin or taking pigeon on your back, either way. Inhale, lift your heart forward. Exhale, squeeze that imaginary block. Again, if you tend to fall over towards the side, you can place that block under your hip. Breathe in, look forward, and as you exhale, start to come down onto your forearms or to the backs of the hands or with a block as a pillow. So any of those options, resting in your pigeon pose, starting to come back down from the practice. Take a moment here to breathe. And then from here, we're going to start to lift ourselves back up. Instead of coming back to down dog this time, you're just going to shift your weight over onto that left hip. You're going to bring that right foot forward and you're going to step it across the left knee. So I'm going to turn to face you. You don't have to turn around. So we're going to come into Ardha Matsyendrasana. Now, if you missed all of that, that's totally fine. We'll start with straight legs. Bend the right knee in and step it across. And then you could stay here with a straight leg or bend the left knee and bring the left heel towards your glute. And that's where I left you off. So the other way, coming out of pigeon, we just leaned over onto the left hip and swung the right leg around. So take a minute to make sure both sits bones are on the floor. Taking the right hand behind you. We'll inhale left arm up to the sky, making space first. And then as you exhale, reach across. Maybe bring the elbow outside the knee and start to twist towards the right. Or you could also just wrap your arm around the leg and draw the knee to the midline. Sitting up nice and tall. And exhale. Deep breath in. And exhale. Maybe even bringing the thumb to the third eye. And then releasing back to center. So from here, if you can, we're going to now take the right heel towards the left glute and stack the knees, coming into Gomukhasana. Now, this isn't possible. You can just take cross leg with, let's do right leg in front. So right leg in front of left, or coming into Gomukhasana. And you can also come in to Gomukhasana from table, crossing the knees, taking a block behind you and sitting up a little bit. Sometimes that helps people to be able to cross the knees a little bit more. So I know that was rather quick, but feel free to take the cross leg pose as well. Sitting up nice and tall. Deep breath in. As you exhale, you're just going to fold forward any amount. So maybe pause here. Maybe you keep the hands behind you. Noticing sensation in your hips. If you'd like, you could bring the hands forward. Some people like to take the hands to the feet. You could also have a block to support your head. And if you can't fold that deeply, you can also stack two blocks. Again, resting the head on the blocks. A lot of options there. If you're seated cross leg, you're just folding forward from cross leg, and that's fine as well. To just take the hands forward, but always lift from the sternum and then come forward. So you're lengthening first from the spine, not rounding into the lower back. So from either of those positions, take one more breath and exhale it out. And pressing down with the hands on the floor or on the feet, you can start to inhale your way back up. Taking the hands behind you, and we'll uncross the legs. Before we go to the other side, let's rest in Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet together,
Sitting up nice and tall. You can take the hands behind you, maybe even lift the hips up and bring them closer to the heels. Breathe in and breathe out. Don't worry about folding forward here because we're going to do that in a moment anyway. Just giving a little stretch to the outer hips and the inner groin. And then we'll straighten both legs, cross the left foot over the right, and bring the right heel to the left glute. And we're going to come into that twist in the other direction. So taking your left hand behind you, inhale the right arm up, making space, creating space. Exhale, reach it across, maybe take the elbow outside the knee, sitting up nice and tall. Or wrapping the arm around the knee and drawing the knee to the midline, whichever way feels appropriate for you tonight. Take 3 more breaths here. Potentially bringing the thumb to the third eye if you like. Noticing that sense of calm, groundedness. And then releasing back to center. We're going to go ahead and stack the knees. So drawing this left foot closer to the right hip. Sitting up nice and tall. If you need to find your way in the other way, or simply sitting cross-legged with the left in front of the right, that's fine too. We're going to come towards this forward fold, leading with the sternum. So if you're in Gomukhasana, sitting up nice and tall first, either posture, sit up tall first. Lift from your sternum. You'd also have the hands behind you. Lift a little taller. And then as you exhale, hinge forward from your hips, perhaps walking the hands forward or onto the feet. And then I always feel like I'm kind of hanging out here, so it's really nice to have those blocks and rest your forehead. So nice. Just let go. In whichever pose you're in. Take a couple more breaths. And then pressing down with your hands, inhale to rise back up. We will take the hands behind us and uncross the legs. This time, go ahead and straighten the legs. So we did Baddha Konasana. Now we're going to straighten the legs, sitting up tall in staff pose. And flexing the feet and pressing down through the thighs and the heels. Sit up nice and tall, breathe in, lift your sternum, and as you exhale, hinge forward just a little bit. Start to feel the stretch in the backs of the legs, and then inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, hinge forward a little bit more. Reach those fingers, reach, reach, reach. Take another breath in. This time as you exhale, let the hands come down wherever they fall. So if you can grab your feet, great. If not, great. Bring them to the floor, to your shins, and rest. You can even take a block here and tilt it towards the forehead and maybe hold the block. And then releasing, come all the way back up. Find a comfortable seat. You can sit cross-legged as I am, or you can come back to that kneeling posture on a block. I wanted to do another exercise I often do at the beginning of a class, but because I wanted to start a different way, we're going to sort of end with this, and then we will have Shavasana as well. So hang in there. We're almost there. So this exercise is sort of an exercise of changing your perspective. So we're going to actually be turning the head. We're going to turn it left. We're going to turn it right. We're gonna lift the chin up to the sky and we're gonna take the chin down to the chest, but we're gonna do it with the breath, of course, because this is yoga. So from a center point, we'll take and we're gonna say some sounds. We're gonna chant some sounds as we turn to each direction. So inhaling through your nose, we're gonna exhale, ah, and we're gonna turn left. I'm just gonna demonstrate first, so it's easier to do it that way. And then you're gonna inhale back to center. You're gonna exhale to the right, oh. You're gonna inhale to the center. You're gonna exhale and lift the chin, E. Inhale to center, and you're gonna exhale, chin to the chest. Inhale to center. So it's exhale, ah. Inhale to center, exhale, O. Inhale, center. Exhale, E. Inhale, center, and exhale, as you look down and come back to center. Ready? We'll do it 3 times. Inhale through your nose. And exhale. Inhale to center. Exhale. Inhale to center. And exhale, lift the chin. Inhale to center. And exhale. And come back to center. We're just going to do it one more time. I said 3, but we'll do it 2 times. If you want to do another on your own, you can. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale. Inhale to center. Exhale. Inhale to center. Exhale. Inhale to center. And exhale. Down to a whisper. Back to center and close the eyes. Rub your 2 palms together. Create some heat between your hands. Rub, rub, rub. Create some friction. Really fast. And place your hands over your eyes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Exhale, let the arms come down. Perhaps keeping the eyes closed if you like. And then we're just going to slowly transition to our backs. So coming down onto your back. Start to get comfortable. If you'd like, you can place the blanket back under your head, or you could roll a blanket or bolster pillow underneath your knees. If you're not comfortable here with straight legs, you're welcome to bend the knees, let the knees fall together. But take a moment to get comfortable. If you want to cover with a blanket, you could do that as well. Take a moment to feel your body on the floor again.
And just be present with the breath. Notice if it's a little bit easier to breathe. Or does it still feel hard? You can always come back to those little sips of air, breathing in a little bit, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. And then exhaling through those pursed lips. Breathing in a little bit, a little bit more, a little bit more. Exhaling through pursed lips. And you can keep breathing in that way or start to smooth it out into one long inhale, one longer exhale. And each exhale, imagine the body sinking a little bit deeper. It's just sort of melting with every breath into the earth. Allow the earth to absorb any negativity, any toxins, any thing that's not serving you in this moment. Any negative thoughts, tension or pain. Allowing the earth to nourish and nurture you. Relaxing your feet and your ankles, your shins and your knees, the backs of your knees, the backs of your upper legs. Relaxing the hips and the lower back, the spine and the shoulder blades, upper arms and elbows, wrists, hands and knuckles. Relaxing the neck, the back of the head, the jaw, and the skin of the forehead. Breathe in, and as you exhale, let everything go. Let all trying and doing go and just be present now, here in this moment. Place one hand, the right hand, over your heart. And place the left hand on top of the right. Softly, leaving a little bit of space between the palm of the right hand and the chest and the heart. Breathe in and imagine inhaling the heart to the hands. And exhale and imagine the heart softening, releasing. Take a few more breaths like that at your own pace. And just notice whatever you feel. whatever comes to mind. Take one final breath here. And exhale it out. Allow the arms to fall to the sides. Feel the breath as it moves your belly and your chest. Feel the breath as it enters your nostrils. Feel the breath as it fills your entire body. And breathing out to the edges of the fingers and the toes, gently start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Circle the wrists and the ankles. Perhaps take the head gently side to side. And as you feel ready to take a larger stretch, a little more movement, reaching the arms overhead, stretch the body long, perhaps reaching one side and then the other. Take a yawn to stretch. And gently, slowly, as you feel ready, roll to your right side. Pause there for a moment. Breathe in through the left nostril. And exhale through the right. Breathe in through the left nostril. And exhale to the right. One more time, breathing in through the left nostril. Exhale through the right. And then gently, as you feel ready, slowly start to use your hands to walk yourself back up to a comfortable seat. Finding that folded blanket to sit on. Come completely situated. If you like, you could take one of those grounding mudras again. Or you could simply place the back of the right hand into the palm of the left and rest your hands in your lap, allowing the shoulders and the elbows to just rest. So you're not holding the arms, you're not holding anything. Feel the contact between your body, your base, and the floor, the earth. And know that this practice is always there for you to access. If you create the space for yourself. So that we can create space for each other. Take a moment to notice your body, your mind, and your breath. Your thoughts, your emotions. Notice if anything has shifted at the end of your practice. And then in this space of unity together, let's go ahead and bring the hands together in front of the heart. We'll take a breath together, and I invite you to join me with the sacred sound of Om to close our practice. Taking a deep breath in And exhale it out. Deep breath in. Namaste. Om Shanti. Peace be with you. Thanks, everybody.